Okay, ladies, here we are for part 2 of changing your man without him ever knowing it. As I said last week, this video is for ladies only. So men, if you're watching, I need you to put this on pause, go find that special lady of your life and have her watch this video alone. You know the drill, alone. This is for ladies only. So last week I introduced a book to you called A Woman's Guide to Changing Her Man Without His Ever Knowing It by Michele Weiner-Davis, who practices common sense principles for better relationships. I'm only giving you the highlights of the book, lady. So if you're interested, please go purchase it. So today we're going to discuss a few quick, easy things that you can do to change your husband and he will never suspect it. You can create that kind of relationship you've always wanted. You can rekindle that love that you first had when you first met. You can get him to be more responsive and attentive. You can influence him to be more sensitive to your needs. It only takes one person to change a relationship single-handedly. Basically, it's a choice. So it's either going to be you or your spouse that's going to make the first move for this change. And ladies, let's be honest, it's going to be you. You need to make the decision to handle things differently, reaching in new and more productive ways. This new behavior will trigger new responses in your spouse. You do not need to have a full discussion with your husband with a new agreement for change and all these rules and blah, blah, blah. You can do all of this without him ever knowing it. So you're like, okay, Suzanne, enough. Enough of the intro, enough of the teasers. Tell me how to do this, right? Are we ready? But first, we need to understand the man's mind just a little bit. So ladies, we love a good conversation. We talk about our feelings, we bare our soul, we're gonna cry a little bit, we're gonna laugh. Ladies, more personal the better, right? We love this stuff. Men, they don't do that. They don't do that at all. Their chit chat is about work and sports and cars and politics and hobbies and blah, 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 right? To women, we feel that men have two modes of conversation. Number one is the chit chat, and number two is avoiding those difficult conversations they don't want to have. Women, we speak 10 times more than men. I know it's a shocker. You've never heard this before, right? And Michele uses a great story in her book, which I absolutely love. And it's about a couple that goes to a dinner party at their friend's house. Now, women, we can go into a house and we can observe new curtains hanging, new paint on the living room wall. We learn about their kids and what they're doing in school and new awards that they've gotten. We learn about their vacation plans. We learn what's on sale at the grocery store. We learn all of these things in the first 30 minutes. Now, our spouse, after several hours, you know what he learned? Our neighbor bought a brand new chainsaw that he can borrow anytime he wants. That's it? After 2 or 3 hours, that's what you learned? It's crazy. So women, here's another secret. When men are involved in something on their own, like looking at the computer, watching stocks on the television, reading, whatever it may be, ladies, he's not ignoring you. He's not trying to avoid of you. He's not trying to hurt you. He hasn't fallen out of love with you. Ladies, we read way too much into a silence. Stop overanalyzing things to death. Men just don't talk as much as we do. However, here's the danger. We can't help but take our spouse's silence personally, right? Then ladies, we do our own talking in our own heads and what we think is really going on. And ladies, we are usually so far off base, it's not even funny. Just this past week, I was constructing negative thoughts in my own head of what I perceived Paul was thinking. I knew it wasn't correct. I had to talk myself off the ledge. And my self-talk was like, Suzanne, get out of your head. You know better. You know that's not what he's thinking. Suzanne, stop! I had to have this conversation several times before I can actually get it out of my head and move forward. Ladies, we must stop creating our own conclusions of what we think he's thinking. So here's our homework for the week. There's 2 things, simple. Choose to have a better relationship. And number 2, stop overanalyzing your spouse and stop taking things so personally. You'll see the difference. See you next week on more tips of how to change your man without him ever knowing it. And remember, it's our secret. Have a great day. God bless. Live love.